Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to your channel. SideScrape here. I hope you're well and you're enjoying your time in World of Tanks as I am at this moment. We're doing a review on the Centurion Mark 7.1 Tier 9 medium tank for the British line. Predecessor is the Centurion and it follows on to the FE4202 currently, which is going to change in the future. Now statistically, it's 1720 hit points. We're going to do a comparison on this later compared to other hit points for the same sort of tiering. 54 tons, 950 horsepower, 40 speed limit, which is a bit of a bugger. It's a lovely little vehicle. It has such nice movement. It's just, I don't know, when you play it, it's so fluid and it just moves like a dream. It's a real pleasure. It's one of my favourite tanks. It is my favourite tank to play. FE4202 is another one. 120mm of armour. See, it's got quite a large low placing on there, which we'll look at later. But look at that base, look how lovely it looks. It has 2 turrets and 3 guns. Now there is 2 different types of guns that I use on this. When I'm playing on my own, I'll use the 105mm Royal Ordnance, but when I'm using when I'm playing with friends, my apologies, I'll be using the small gun, the 20 pounder, and the reason for that is just the rate of fire. It's twice as fast. Penetration's 268 compared to 226 the 20 pounder, 390 damage compared to 230. Now why would you do that, SideScrape? Well, a lot of the time if you have a smaller gun on, you get twice as many shots off. You got to do twice as much work, but I can keep somebody pinned really easily and get some really good damage in there, allowing my friends to be able to completely annihilate the person I'm shooting at or killing. Plus the aiming time is 1.9 and against 2.3, so it's slightly better off. And the dispersion is 0.32, so it's not too bad. So normally this, when I'm doing a platoon, depending on what tank my mates have got, or this for doing it on my own, it's just a formidable gun. 3 types of engines, 2 types of tracks, and 3 types of radio. So it turns at 32 degrees, which is literally where your tank do. Press A and D for your tank to turn around. 32 degrees a second. The turret is 36, so it's not too bad really when it just turns around overall. We turn them both at the same time. And the view range is pretty decent. On this one, I've got a vertical stabilizer, gun rammer, and vents, so I get a slight increase. And standard ammunition. 5 hesh, because the main thing about this gun as well, just to add, 268 penetration, 210, that's because that's hesh. So it's high explosive, hesh shell, which is 105 caliber, 158 to 263 damage, penetration, 360 to 600 damage. It's also got a good burst radius. You've got 2 tanks sat next to each other. Hits on the side flank and you'll cause some damage, so it's hesh rather than standard HE as you got here. Now that's, I use that hesh a lot if I'm coming up against, so you get the Waffentrager E100s or the Aufpanzer 4 back of E100s and just cause some real damage, and it'll just knocks out a lot of the crews and modules inside the tank. Let's look at a tank inspector. So looking at this vehicle, the animation's gone a bit weird for some reason. Just looking at this frontally, look at the hull, the turret, sorry. Stop turning your dick. Do you see all this extra mods on here? This side stuff that you have on the side of the tank here? That's nothing, so don't try to penetrate those, don't try to shoot them. Let's just get this gun looking down towards here. So looking at the front of the tank, you come on to face it off, it has a rather large lower plating and it's really thin. It's only 76mm, so aiming at the tank you're going to be able to penetrate rather easily with anything. Up in the middle part here is 203mm, it's 154, 121, but because it's sloped, these little sections here, 2 pieces there, 1 piece of metal there, 1 piece of metal there. Because it's sloped, you're going to be looking at 225mm, so it's not overly hard to penetrate. You look at the turret, 153mm, and it's quite hard to get through the gun mantlet because of the multiple layers that you get on this tank with the different spacings going through. So it's literally layered 165 at the back. You do have a commander's hatch on top, but it is extremely small, so it'll be very hard to penetrate. If you can do, aim for this section here, or aim for just there. Don't aim for the top part because you've got more chance of ricocheting. So when you're firing a shell, depending on what angle you are, if you're a high tank, you're going to be aiming down, aim for the flat surface. If you're a low tank, try to aim for as low as possible. Higher you aim for when you're a lower tank, like the Object 413, the tier 8 tank. If you aim for the top part of it, you've probably got more chance of ricocheting off, just because of the angle. Looking at this though, if you do angle this tank approximately there, that's going to increase it up by 10%, 15%, which is quite easy to get through the sides. You've really got to be balanced on how you actually side scrape this tank. So you can see this point here. If you aim for the track, just above the track, along this part here, you're going to get very nice penetration. You see it? So it's just got skirting on the side of it. And this is what you want to be aiming for. It's only 51mm at the side there. So it's nice and easy to get through. So you need to be aiming for just above the tracks if somebody's side scraping on you, and you'll get the shot in there. That's what I was looking at before. Look at this. Try to get the best angle for it, shall we? That's a ricochet, so that's 239. So when you're fighting somebody, try to get it so that you're engaging like this. Not too far. That causes a ricochet this side. Low plating is 122mm, so try to get your vehicle so it's, you know, there's something in the way of it always for the lower plating. Because this vehicle has a very, very nice elevation and depression, as we're going to look in a minute. Stupid sodding thing. Looking at the top of this, as always, no armour whatsoever. Looking at the back of it, no armour whatsoever. Looking at the side, you've got 102mm, so there's nothing you can really do to try to stop shells. But if you try side scraping and you use this as a hull down position, because this turret is quite nice, it's quite bouncy. A lot of the time when somebody tries to aim for that part there, it's quite hard because there's so much crap on top. You know, all these little bits and bats, he makes it quite hard to hit. So aim, low plate, upper plate, and you'll probably penetrate quite easily. The best thing for you to do if you're in this tank, go hull down and just try to keep it so you're rocking backwards and forwards. You've got your turret poking above, you should take your shot, you pull back. Done. Let's look at this in a compare. Let's look at how it compares with other tanks. So we're going to be looking at the Centurion 7.1 against E50, the German tier 9, and the T54, the Russian tier 9. All on top specs. So you all get the same tiering. All costs very similar. Hit points, it's the second best, but they're all quite close really. Signal range, it is the best. Speed, it's the worst, because it is capped, so it is quite sluggish. You can't get into positions that you would do in other tanks. It's just slightly faster than a heavy tank, some heavy tanks, so you're not really going to be able to get to, you know, the positions you normally go in a light tank or medium tank. Speed backwards, same levels. Moderate weight, so you can ram some light tanks if they come towards you. If you come up against a bat chart, you ram, you're twice as heavy. Only 4 in there, so that can cause a problem, or it may not cause a problem if you get shot and such. 120mm armour, 150, 120, 50, 80, 80. So it's more or less all the same. The turret armour, 152, 185 and 200, so there's no real difference when you're fighting against them. 950 horsepower, which is the highest horsepower, but the second highest horsepower to weight ratio, with the T54 coming out overall. Traverse speed, second place, and it's because it's a gasoline, it's a petrol engine, it does catch fire. View range of 410, so it is the best out of all three, which is good news. Get the spots in earlier, you can't move as fast as them, so you can react a bit easier. Look at 36 degrees for the turret, which is second best. The E50 is pretty slow. T54 is epic. 390 damage overall. 268 penetration, but that's, don't forget, that's Hesh. For that's Hesh. Gosh. And 268 for the APCR. Because it fires APCR standard, sorry I meant to say that before. It doesn't fire standard armour piercing, it fires armour piercing composite rigid. So a lot of people are like, oh, gold fire. It's no, mate, that's my standard ammunition. Shell price 1200, so it's the cheapest out of a lot. Hesh is expensive, we probably won't use it that much to be honest with you. Shell travel speed, now this is extremely flipping fantastic, nearly 1500 meters a second. That's just short of half, or double, sorry, the T54's travel time of the shell. So if you're stood next to it, if I'm in this tank, Centurion 7-1, my mate's in T54, we fire the same target, my shell's going to hit it a heck of a lot faster than what his is going to do. Okay, it's a lot faster as well, 278 faster than the E50, so it's one of the highest travel times. You don't have to lead as much with this, so that's something you've got to take in consideration. If you're just playing the T54 for a lot of time, then you end up trying to switch across to Centurion. You have to make sure you take that into account. Damage minutes 1950 compared to 2437. Okay, so it fires 5 rounds, 12-second reload. Accuracy is the second best. German's the best, and then the aim time is the second best. Now let's just check the other gun as well, shall we? Just a quick one. What sort of damage change, because it is quite important. So penetration 226, so it's still better than the rest of them. AP, that's standard AP. APCR's 258. It's the worst out of all of them. It's the cheapest by far. Look at that, half the price of the other ones. It's got better penetration. Shell speed, it's the second best. It's still pretty decent. It does 2,421, so it's on the same sort of bracket as the other ones. It's second best accuracy but the best aim time. So that's, what is it, 2,421 with a 20-pounder. 2,400 with more poking compared to 1950, so like say 500 less damage a minute, but you're not having to poke as much. Camo values, all pretty basic, but it's a medium tank. Let's look at some replays. I've got 2 replays lined up, and they're pretty decent. I did 10 games in a row with this, and it felt like a stats padding tank. I was getting some really good games. These are not exceptional games you're going to see. These are just games, you know. Let's have a go now. Right, so we're currently on Pearl River. We've got 54% win chance. It's predominantly a tier 9, half the team's tier 9s. Smattering of newer players, inexperienced players on both teams. Now I forgot to mention before, this tank's got the value of -10 on the gun, just so it looks down, so it depression's 10, and the elevation's 18 compared to 8 and 20 for the E50, for example. So it's very, very good at peeking over hills and getting a shot into an enemy and then just pulling back. That's what I always like to do, no matter what I'm in, is come to the middle part. If I can do, brake left and go around. Now look at the ammo loadout of this one. It's got 64 shells per shell, totally donked. 64 APCR shells plus 5 Hesh and 3, so that's a really good level of ammunition, especially when it's 10-second reload, so you can sit there and just make this gun sing all day long and you'll still have a good level of ammunition left over. Shell travel time is 1478, was it? Can't recall just now. So the shell travel time is fantastic. I like to come here just to poke and see if I can get any, well, let our guys know. As you can see from the bottom right hand side, or top right hand side, grabber, he's type 61, he now knows the Ferdinand moving towards him, so he can react. He was pushing forward before, but now he's starting to move back. Waited for the spot time to stop. The spot time's a random number between 5 and 10 seconds. Got a nice shot of 388 into that vehicle, into the E75. Just need about 1500 damage, 1600 damage to be able to get decent win 8. Second shot in, 445 damage, so 833 damage done already. With them 2 hits, I've done 400 win 8. Looking in the map behind us, there's a T30 somewhere. I'm just going for spots to see if we can see anything like the artillery or somebody who's AFK, just to get some extra points and get a kill video. See if there's anything defending really. And I notice an M12 artillery sat in the open. Hello, goodbye. Because there's no other hostiles, I would have normally pushed up to here and gone round to assist, but because I didn't spot anything over here, I decided to utilise this awesome manoeuvrability of this vehicle just to go around the back of these guys, put some pressure on and then release this entire flank. If we can open up this flank, it means that the rest of our guys can be used elsewhere to get more kills in. Nice hit into that E75. Third hit into him. He's now trying to turn to get to me. Far too late, brother. Far too late. Bosh. I'm dead. One Ferdinand in a very nice hold down position. It's going to cause them guys all sorts of problems, but because he's known that I'm coming up, I put the pressure on him and he's had to move to try to counter me, and that's just killed him. Wedged myself in there just to make sure that he can't get shots on. Didn't get the kill, but helped my mates. That's all I'm bothered about. So 2,115 damage done. That's 1,959 win 8. These are not fantastic games. These are just games I played. I've got a couple of other ones that I played in the same day where I had 4,000 or 5,000 damage, which I'll show maybe a gameplay later on. So far 6 against 5. If you look at our base though, there's some severe pressure there, and moving, well, overall with most of their guys moved to one side, so I'm moving back into a position where I can assist. I need to take that T30 down first though. They've started capping, and I guess they decided to go for the kill. Different, I suppose. Keep an eye on that E75 driver as well, will you? I'll use a T30 round here. Spot, snapshot, kill. 2148, win 8 so far. Now I'm going to try to get some pressure onto these guys in the cap circle. Shot fell short. Unfortunately I didn't get the hit in. T61 just blitzed past me to try to get pressure onto the E50 and the AMX 1390 to my left. D-track shot. I suppose it kept him pinned so he can't move anywhere. So that's his gun that can't be put into commission. I thought the gun would be a bit more accurate so I can get shots into his lower plate, but as you can see it didn't work. T61's getting chewed up because he's engaging the E50 with full health, decent armour, good gun, and he lost. So I'm going to try to take these buildings down just to get shots at him. Nothing else on the map that's showing up. I'm getting pushed by this E75. I don't know what he's doing. All he ever does is cause me a lot of grief in this game, as you'll see. I think he's trying to troll me. He tried to get in front of me before. I took a hit back. Where'd that shot go through? There we go. Right side of the turret. Straight through, standard ammunition from the E50, and as expected the 1390 is firing gold. I'm trying to back off here, but the E75 is just trolling me. Look at him. He's blocking me so I can't move back or get out of this position at all. I'm now just completely stuck in. 2,500 damage, 2,600 damage. I'm just trying to get out of here. This guy has just caused me so much trouble. God, I had full health until this guy went and blocked me in there. I'm sorry about the language in the side chat, but I was just getting so annoyed. It's just, there's no reason I should have taken any damage whatsoever. Now look at him. Look at this guy's statistics. For fun. What is he doing? Look at this. What is the point? So I lost over 1,600 health just because this guy's a dork. And I was so tempted to shoot. Well, I don't know. I suppose I shouldn't have reacted like I did, but I was just so furious, man. All that health I lost just because he went and blocked me off. 2,792 damage caused so far. And you can see the nice position I was in. If you want to be in for that doof spike, then we would have caused a lot more damage than what we've done now. Put a nice shot into that 1390 at 350. I'm trying to keep up the pressure. I know I've no ability now to get hit, so I'm just trying to keep up the pressure a touch and assist our guys in the middle. Took out the AMX, removed their eyes and some damage. And E50 fired. Oh, track shot. What the heck? And that's it. Bosh. I was taken out. I should have been able to absorb that shot, but wasn't able to because that E75 because he was being such a sausage. And now look at him, he's just deciding to wander off on his own. So we did 3,097 damage, 3,434 win rates, so overall not too bad. Game's a win, so I suppose hopefully I'll never meet that guy again. Let's look at the after action report. So 48,534 credits, 1,362 experience. We got second level damage, the STI came first, so not too bad, 3,097 damage, 875, not a single spot of damage. Fired 6 shots, oh, golly, whatever dude. And hostile team, the E50 did really well, as he was fighting off against the T61. This chap here. Overall not too bad a game, nothing fantastic, but it's a nice review of the actual tank, just to show and highlight its manoeuvrability. It may not be fast as the other tanks, but it can still utilise its strength because it's got such a good engine. It picks up acceleration fast, it's got good climb rates on hills, so it's able to move into places that other tanks won't be able to do as fast. Let's look at the next replay, shall we? So we're on Winter Himmelsdorf, 52% win chance. There's 4 heavies on each team, 4 tier 9s, only 3 medium tanks for them on the hostile team. So my thinking here is hill. Get myself up there, get myself into good position and use the, hopefully if I can take it obviously, use the depression. The 10% gun goes down 10%, pointing downwards, and can hit if I'm in an elevated position most of the targets down in the main square. Looking at the map here, I'll be able to hit down this line, hit down this flank, and hit down anybody down here. That's the plan. At the moment I've asked for assistance and nobody's helps as yet. So it looks like I could be making this push on my own. Then E75, as you can see from chat, is now saying he's going to come over and assist, which is nice, but it is extremely slow, so it's going to be a while. I'm going to have to hold myself and try to turn back whatever's up here. Most of our guys have gone and counts down the 1, 2, 3 line, which is nice. Not. And thankfully, most of their tanks have gone down the 3 line as well. Otherwise it could have been quite painful. Again, I'm using a 105mm Royal Ordnance gun. T4 hasn't seen me yet. First shot in, 407 damage, not too bad at all. 1138 needed to get decent win rates. And that was such a shit shot. Their best player is about to come up in the Centurion 1. First shot flipping went straight through and took out my loader. There's only a crew of 4 in here, so it just can cause a problem. Where are all these shots going through? Look at the cheek. It's a danger. The turret armour is okay as long as people don't know where to shoot you. If they tried to go for this guy at first, he went for the commander's cupola, commander's hatch, whatever, and it didn't go through, and he's just going to put a couple of shots straight through the right hand side of the turret. So that's a good place to shoot if you're looking for a place. E75 is nearly with me, so I'm just trying to keep up the pressure so they don't rush me. They may think I've got more people here than I have. Walking backwards and forwards, put a nice shot in, 810 damage course at T54. He's done over 650 to me. E75 got a nice hit into that Centurion 1. Before I can assist him now with that tank, I need to get rid of this guy. It looks like that T54 got himself caught on some rock, which enabled me to get a shot in. Very unfortunate for him. 2 all so far. Now T54 has gone into a reserve position. He's gone off this grid. Don't know where he is, so I'm just sneaking out. He's just fired, and I forgot how quick the reload was, but his gun's not that good at damage anyway. So I was able to get a good shot off. So 56 damage done so far. Stupid shot. Down to my half health. 4 enemies taken down either side. I'm getting a bit nervous myself now. I don't want to die. It's 50% win chance, so it could go either way. You know what it's like. As you can see, our 1, 2, 3 push has been stopped, and a lot of the guys have been pushed back. Now 5, 6. They've killed 6 of us. We killed 5 of them. But now this is where it gets interesting. This is where you can put this gun with extremely good penetration, APCR, to good use. Tiger 2. Nice roll of 400. Look at the gun. Nice elevation. My tank is angled quite nicely. So if you look at the bottom, you can see that's 83mm for left hand side, 107 for the other side, but they cannot see my hull. Somehow I missed that shot. Got 2000 damage so far. Took a hit from the Tiger 2, which is extremely lucky to be honest with you. Oh, revenged. Let's see where else I can put some pressure on. Gameplay is always hard, and if you're not quick when somebody manages to get this elevated position, you can actually lose the entire game, because they can just suppress you by putting fire in like that and take out your team without you being able to retaliate that much, because you're trying to put pressure into the middle. A shout out to this E75 Agent Handsome. Appreciate you coming to help me, man. T25-2 is poking out, not sure why. Up to 3,132 damage or 3,492 win 8s. We've now gone from 5-6 to 10-7. We're clawing back and we're putting some real hurt into these guys. There's only 4 of them left. And there's just absolutely nothing they can do. They should have tried to get to this position earlier themselves. It's just a normal game. Nothing spectacular gameplay. You saw I just came up the hill, took out a couple of guys with the help of the 75, and I was able to just put the pressure on, and that's it. Flipping, I couldn't believe it. It's 2 games in a row now where I've died, and that the artist shot was a good shot, so well done to you, Machinator. I'm dead. Still got some good damage in there. 3,580, and it's, thank you ISA, appreciate that. It's a real testament to what this tank can do. I didn't even consider the artillery, so that's my own stupid fault. I'm able to get really good shots down into this area with the gun, and there's nothing they can do about it. It wouldn't have been for the artillery, I shouldn't have been sat so long. I was just sat there shooting, and the artillery was easily able to take me down. Silly Billy. Now it's just up to the guys, just take the rest of the guys out. It was nice that ISA to make that comment. Didn't need to do, a lot of people wouldn't do. So it's the eject guys, hats off to both of you, it was nice. Careful. Nice. So we finished at 4-2-6-1 win 8. Let's look at the after action report. So both games, the only reason I died was because I was being a bit stupid. I overextended. This time though it was nice to have a decent E75 driver who came up to help me. So we got the most damage, 3,580. IS8 came next with 2,800 and 2,920 from the E75 and the other team. Not too bad overall. 1,063 in experience. It was a really good game. You could see from the first game the manoeuvrability, the engine was able to move over pretty harsh terrain really when you're looking at what it was, to be able to flank the enemy, then relocate back to base in a prompt, timely fashion. The second game you could see the elevation of the gun, the depression of the gun, and the way it was able to handle and take down a lot of enemies because of its accuracy. Sorry about if it seemed like there was 2 deaths. Oh, sorry, it was 2 deaths. I wanted to show them though because it was quite good gameplays to show the tank's strengths as well as some of its weaknesses, and both times I died from my own errors. So 1110 damage blocked by armour, 1.32 kilometers travelled. We still made a profit, didn't fire anything because the APCR is decent enough as it is, and we've got some good stats. Now, the Centurion 7.1 is a blinder of a tank. It's a joy to play. When you get to it, you probably play with this more than you play with the tier 10 one, as it's with the gun and you're tearing up against tier 9s. It's phenomenal. Even playing with against tier 10s, the gun is really good and punchy. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. Let me know what you think, subscribe and spam that like button. Let me know if there's any tanks you want to see coming up, and stay safe. I'll see you out there. Take care now.